Hey everybody, this is a special Grim Report. This is going to be it's recorded on the 9th of this month, but it won't be aired until, well, when you're seeing it is the 30th, which is Halloween. Right, Dave?
Yep.
This is Dave Parker. He is part of the little paranormal group that we got going. We do Bigfoot, other mythological creatures. We just sit and talk about them. And, well, the thing is that what we're going to do is that since I've tried calling Dave on Facebook and it didn't ring on his end, but it ran on his end when we did it on the phone. Right, Dave?
Yeah, because it didn't want to ring in the messenger, so kind of hard to answer your call. And then when I call back, it bumps to your phone. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. What we're going to try to do is that we have, I want to say, Halloween stories. And we're only going to be on here long enough to tell them. We're not going to be on here too long, you know. We're not going to take up no more, probably about 30 minutes, if that, of your time. But I wanted to do a Halloween episode because I thought it'd be good since it's Halloween month. And I enjoy this time of year, this holiday. I enjoy it thoroughly. How about you, Dave?
Yeah, I do. I'm looking forward to deer hunting season coming up here. That's my favorite time of year.
Now, what we're going to do is that we planned on having a few other people on here. But as they couldn't make it because of, well, one, me and Dave tried getting a hold of them. They did not answer our messages, did they, Dave?
No, so guess we'll just move forward without them.
Yeah. So, what we're going to do is that we're going to trade back and forth. I only have a couple. I'm pretty sure Dave has more than his fair share of, well, Halloween stories. So, I want you to start off, Dave. You said you have a Bigfoot Halloween story to tell.
Yeah, well, I used to have this addiction to this game called Battle Pipe. And I was playing it. It was like around Halloween. I live out in the middle of nowhere, and the Bigfoots come around, and I could hear them outside. I could hear them doing their owl-like calls, and I was kind of ignoring them because there was an event in the game, and I was, trying to rack up enough points to get what I wanted. And pretty soon, I could hear them start chucking walnuts at the side of the house. So I kind of chuckled, and pretty soon a couple more came, and I thought, okay, I know what they want. They want some goodie. So I grabbed a coffee can, put a scoop of dog food in there, put a couple slices of maple flavored bacon and 3 raw eggs, and then I took it out by the barn where I usually leave a little snack for them once in a while. So I had trick-or-treaters, and they all came dressed as woodwinds. But I put that out, didn't hear another peep out of them the whole night. But they were letting me know they wanted some.
Alright, well, I'm going to tell you one of mine. Dave already knows this one, though. I'm pretty sure. See, every year, my mom would do something for the kiddies. Put out candy. Well, this one year, she decided to put out a scarecrow. Now, I don't know what made her obligated to do so, because most of our neighborhood kids that come down there are probably, about as old as I was at the time. So, I get out there, and I look at the scarecrow. I got an idea. So what I did was I took the scarecrow apart, believe it or not, that hay in the pants is really uncomfortable. Because I had to sit there and play the part, if you know what I mean, Dave. And, oh God, I sat there holding the candy, not moving. I have the mask on and everything. I didn't move. So, a bunch of little kids come up, about the kids that you would expect to come out on Halloween. You know, the 5, the 10-year-olds. You know, 12 and up, 12 and below, right? Now, at this point, it's getting late on the night. It's getting kind of cold. And all I got on is overalls and a t-shirt. So, this one teenager brings these kids up the door. You know, I got the thing set out, says take candy and leave. And I'm sitting there, and these kids woke up. The little kids take the candy first. Big kid comes up. He grabs at the candy. I snatch at his hand. He runs off like hell. Pardon my language. But he runs so fast, it's not even funny. I think he literally hit the car door trying to open it. I was like, well, I had my fun tonight. But yeah, in my neighborhood, there was, where I lived at was mostly black kids. And, you know, you got to do what you got to do for fun, you know.
Yeah.
All right, your turn, Dave. Tell me something that's scary that happened to you. It don't even have to be on Halloween. It just happens to be, period. Anything scary.
I don't know if it was exactly Halloween, but it was around Halloween. But I remember I was like 8 years old and went to this haunted house at the fairground. And they did pretty good, you know, and there'd be all the different lights and uneven floors and people reaching out from the walls at you and stuff. And I remember there was this one area that was kind of lit up, and there was like a vampire in the coffin. And I remember looking over the edge and saying, and he looks so real. That's because he was. He grabbed my hand. Oh, God. I must have jumped 6 inches. That definitely got the heart pumping. I'll say that.
Oh, I believe it. Well, no, this is funny. Now, I used to do, where I lived at, we had this theater every year. Now, this was about around Halloween. Actually, it was Halloween. You know, I was kind of in my 20s and stuff like that. You know, had a girlfriend, and her dad was kind of like he worked for the arts, and it was a Ritz Theater. I won't tell you what state, but you know, it was a Ritz Theater, and it was called the Haunted Theater, but they called it a haunted house. And we had these kids dressed up in costumes. Some of them were, you know, freaky. Others were, you know, dressed up, supposedly scary clothes, bloody clothes, and whatnot. Well, there is a myth about that only if you go to this theater do you know about this, because it doesn't get around town. That there's this little girl that had jumped from the top balcony. This is when the theater had a balcony. Now it doesn't, but it did at the time. Well, actually, no, it does still. Yeah, but it had no railing on it. You know, it was about the 1800s or something around that time, you know. Well, supposedly this little girl was either pushed or she jumped off the balcony of the theater. Nobody knows why. Nobody knows what was up or anything. So I'm sitting there waiting for my turn. I'm part of the the haunted thing that was going on was part of it. I'm waiting for these kids to come through. I didn't tell nobody this, but I was sitting there, in a position to where, I could watch the hallway and whatnot. I was more of a jump scare type of person. I love doing jump scares. I see this little girl, clear as day, walk past me, and I go, boo. She turns around, giggles and smiles, and walks off. And I'm like, did anybody else see this? On the radio, did anybody else see this little girl? I said, what little girl? I said, the little girl just came through here. He said, no. Didn't see nobody. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Nobody saw this little girl in these old clothing. I said, what did she look like? I said, well, she was a short little girl in a dress with long brown hair and brown eyes. I said, oh, you mean the girl that, the ghost that's here, that haunts the place. I said, what? So yeah, the little girl that haunts the place. I'm like, oh shh. You see what? Yeah, that was on Halloween, and they say that happens every Halloween. Something like that happens. She'll appear in a certain spot in the building. Kind of freaky, I know, right?
Yeah. I think it's neat that she giggled at you.
Yeah, I think it was that's why I got into what I'm doing now. That's why I got into it. Another one of the reasons why I got into it now. There was so many reports of her being seen. Sometimes she'll be seen falling from the balcony, but never vivid unless it's on Halloween. You may hear like a thud from behind or whatever, or something like a hat or something go flying off somebody's head. But on Halloween, they say she appears almost every year.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Your turn, then I'm going to tell my favorite one, and then we can wrap it up if you ain't got no more.
Alright. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure that this happened around Halloween, but I used to live in a house, a really old house. 3 people were brutally murdered there. And it had a lot of paranormal activity. But mostly, I never seen anything. But you would hear like voices. Like someone in the next room having a conversation where you really can't quite make out the words, but you know it's people talking. You'd hear that a lot. And there was an old guy that had lived up there with his brother, and they both seemed kind of about half nutty. And he'd talk about, the voices. Well, we always made fun of him and thought he was just nuts. But anyway, when I had lived up there, that upstairs was pretty run down, and so I used the downstairs bathroom because it was an old house that my dad owned that had been made into apartments. And my sister lived downstairs, and then I had my stuff upstairs, but I used her bathroom. And anyway, I had a friend up there, and I went down to use the bathroom, and I hear him going, Dave, and I go, what? What's the matter? And I come back up the stairs, and he goes, well, what did you say? I said, well, that wasn't me, man. I said, that's a ghost. I said, I was downstairs using the bathroom. And all the color left his skin. He turned really pale, and he grabbed me by my arms, and he kind of shook me a little bit. He goes, don't you ever leave me up here alone again. I said, that's just a ghost. I said, you get used to it. And that's how it was. I mean, I never heard any, like, evil anything or, having weird nightmares or nothing like that. I mean, it was just, they were there. And, I mean, you can either be terrified or you can just get used to it.
That's true. That is so true.
That's kind of how I looked at it. and I wasn't going to show them any fear because, well,
That's what they want.
I didn't see nothing to be afraid of.
That is true. There ain't really, I mean, ghosts are just either, there's different types of ghosts. Residual and, what is it? Intelligent. I watch a lot of ghost hunters and, well, I've seen both types. One I can't get into because Dark Waters has kind of me under contract, so I can't talk about that one. But my last one, I think you're going to laugh your butt off. This was not a ghost story, but it is hilarious. Okay. I told you I did that haunted theater, right? Okay. Well, this was the last year that I was there doing it. And we were setting up, and we were in our positions and everything. We have like I said, 98% is African American where I lived at. It's a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? So, I was sitting there in this little cat cove type thing they got put together, kind of like a tree. And my ex-girlfriend's sitting over the corner, and she's messing around, making some noises. The lights are real dim. You know, you really can't see much. Supposedly how haunted places are supposed to go, right? You can't see a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, this one kid thought he was all big and bad. He walking around with his pants halfway down his ankles. You know, wannabe gangster stuff, right? So, I'm hiding this cove. He gets about almost to the door. I slowly walk up to him, tap him on the shoulder, and whisper, "Boo." Just like that. He falls to his butt, craps his pants, pees running down his leg, and he's doing the crab walk out the door, screaming. And I'm like, all these other dudes couldn't scare this dude, but I go boo behind him, tap him on the shoulder. Of course, I have a knife, like a fake knife in my hand. And I tap him on the shoulder, I go boo. He turns around and messes his pants, pees his pants, and doing the crab walk out the door. He runs out the door, not just the door, the hallway that I'm in, but he runs literally out the door. Now, you can't tell me that ain't funny, right there.
Yeah, I did something like that one time.
Go ahead.
I was in the garage working on a car I had. I don't know, I was a teenager, probably about 16. And I could hear the neighborhood kids. They were, you know, you'd hear like a "ah," and then you'd hear a scream. They were playing this game called Bloody Murder or something where you gotta kind of run the gauntlet past the house to see if you can get to the other side without getting grabbed. Well, I didn't know what they were doing, and there was a row of those tall poplar trees between the houses. And they had some volunteer trees by them. Well, I was wearing a black t-shirt, so I just kind of backed up into this one. There was about 10 kids, and they come along and they're saying, "Yeah, and you gotta go through here, and you know, and then you get by, and then you made another round." And okay, so they're doing this, and right when the group got by me, I've got like a tree branch in each hand, like volunteer staff, and I just went, "Ugh!" And I got those bushes shaking and everything. And this one kid that was in the middle of the group, man, he backed up into the house, and he peed his pants. I scared him so bad.
Oh, man. That has.
Most of them all scattered. And of course I was laughing.
Oh, you had to be. Who wouldn't, right?
Yeah, his mom called me up because I scared her kid so bad.
Well,
But he was like 12. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen, you know.
well, it's not like I was scaring the willies out of a little 3-year-old or something, make them have nightmares or whatever. I mean, the kid was 12.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
But
Well,
it was fun.
I'm gonna get off here with you. I had fun.
Alright.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I'm all tapped out on scary little Halloween type stuff.
I am as well. But it was fun, though. I mean, I'm glad I could get this to do with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been fun, and I'll chat with you next time you want to do something. Alright?
Alright. Good.
Be safe, man.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little thing. This will be put out on Halloween. So, all I gotta say from now. Good luck. Good night.